Show will begin in 5,
4,
3, 2,
1.
Thursday night CrossFit Talk with Scott Schweitzer and Jamie Latimer.
We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. Hickory, dock. Giving them all that we got. Kick on the door. Try to knock, but nobody answered. I'm going hard and taking my chances. I keep it moving. I keep advancing. Keeping it gangster.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a Sunday morning edition of Thursday Night CrossFit Talk. I love that theme song. I sing it like during the day. I'm going around like hickory dickory dock. Anyway, so we're here to recap Saturday at Rogue because you and I both had a Halloween party last night in different locations. And we wanted to go ahead and get one out here. So what's going on, Kenneth and Lex? Yesterday, I feel like, so we started with the 4 muscle ups. Yeah, let's do this in order instead of like just
Okay.
shotgunning this all over the place. So we started with the 4 muscle up, 8 handstand push up, 12
snatches.
12 snatches.
12 snatches.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So long event.
Regular
and
handstand
really-
push-ups.
What's that?
Regular handstand push-ups.
Regular handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
And Laura still finished what, 15th, 14th?
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of a fun event to watch, especially on the women's side, Heat 1. I thought the aerial and who was she dueling with? They went back and forth a couple times. Mano Anganese.
Oh, yeah. Which surprised me that she was up there.
I thought that was a great battle to watch. And then we get to the women's side, and she's just good. On the Heat 2, it was Tia the whole way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. No question there.
Yeah. What did you think of the workout?
I liked the workout. Gosh, that would have been gross. Emma did good despite her hands. I mean, I kind of wonder, could she have done it better with hands feeling better? Yeah, I like that workout. I feel like 4 is that perfect number of ring muscle ups. Some of those snatches got, it was a lot of volume. It's a good workout though. I do think, I mean, I like that they had the 2 bars, but I don't know if they needed, that was one of those ones where you get lost on the floor very quickly.
I agree.
It's just that story needs to be told a little bit better somehow. And I don't know if that means Rogue needs to go back to, like, people are always asking for like the tracker at the top of the screen. They do it in, they have the did they leave the rounds, the reps counting up on that one?
They did.
You're watching. Okay. So I guess you're following that. It's just, I feel like they're behind sometimes. I know, like in the monkey bar one, that doesn't track forward. So like the position is off until they get back to the bar. So there's things where, like, if you aren't watching the screen and watching where people's at and you're trying to use the counter, you're off. But yeah, that one I got lost on the floor a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess we forgot Emma Carey came out and hung with Tia for a while, fell off, and it seemed like that she fell off quite a bit and maybe was going to drop down the leaderboard, but Tia was so fast, she still took second.
Yeah, solid. Good performance for Emma.
Yeah. And when it goes to the scoring on the side, those are people with like, I think an app on a phone, just
Yeah, I think.
tapping it now.
Mhm.
And so it's up to, depending on them, to not lose track of where their person is too.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, so that was the women. Let's go to the, I can't find my mouth. There we go. The men event 4. Noah, of course. How did
Mhm.
we not know Noah was going to win this?
I mean, I feel like Will was like in the mix of picks. He's just, he's like Noah with handstand push-up type workouts. But yeah, we should have had Noah on this one.
Yeah,
And where did Will actually finish?
7th.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I had picked Vellner. You had picked. Did you pick Morad?
I did.
Yeah.
And then on the women's side, I had Emma Lawson. I didn't know about her hands, so I put in Ariel, and then I said, no, stop overthinking this. Everybody has hurt hands, and went back to Emma. Like I've done that so much this
Oh.
week. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Noah, BKG, and then Victor Hoffa, which we should have had him up there as well.
Yeah.
But this was an old dude's workout, apparently. The
Yeah,
two 10-time women's athletes.
It's a bit of a pacing and experience workout for sure.
It is. And Noah's just so damn good with handstand push-ups. His kip was so small, and his cycle rate was so fast. Like Will started out strict. Noah started out with that like little baby kip. And I think that was just enough to save his shoulders for the end. And probably why Will fell off and Noah kept going.
Yep.
So then we get to kind of the drama of the day, and I'm going to put up Lexa's comment.
Yep.
So late last night, too many long intermissions. So we get to the duel, which I love the format. I love the format of it. I don't like how long it takes to determine the next round. But you have to allow for appeals. Now, on the alternate broadcast, Josh Bridges said they tried to take all the judging out of this event.
Okay.
To eliminate that. Like it's over, under, over, not really anything to call. You pick up the sandbag, you put it in the basket, nothing really to call. And even when the rope climb was there, it was a simple, regular rope climb. So they were trying to keep it judge free.
I can respect that.
And when he said that, it made so much sense to me, because last year we had those overhead squat fiascos in this. So I thought that was well planned, but then I got word, and then Katie confirmed last night on Savan that they lost Wi-Fi, which knocked out the chip timing, which answers the question that the finish line was not touching the box. It was a chip timer.
So they lost Wi-Fi, so they weren't able to use the chips, or they were?
That was the first delay. They lost Wi-Fi. Their network people had to work to get it back up again. And then once it was up, they had chip timing.
Okay. So it was the foot.
It was the foot.
Yeah. Were the athletes briefed on that? that the box wasn't, because it sounds like they were told the box was the finish, Matt, and so certain people reached for that with the hand, which puts your foot behind, and some people went in with their foot. So I'm curious how they were briefed.
So Carolyn's in the chat. If she was there, if she knows, were they briefed that the touching of the box was the end of the event, or was it the chip timer on their ankle? Because apparently it went to chip timing.
Yes.
Because there were some people that never touched the box and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So that started with a delay, and then the natural way the event goes made it even longer because you're waiting every round, and it's a 30-second event. So like it's 30 seconds done and then waiting for minutes.
Yeah, like 6. It's insane.
Yeah. So even like from heat to heat, they weren't very quick. Getting the next heat set up to go. To me, I felt that was rough. Thank goodness college football was on. So I had like the Penn State game on my big screen TV. I had my 5 box of Rogue on my computer screens and was watching both and just bouncing back. So that helped with my delay. But I think that they've got to, while I think it's a cool way to run an event, it is, they've got to do better on the timing in between. Another interesting fact that Josh brought up is what they like about the event is once you're out, you kind of are sitting there and you're not able to do anything to help your cause, and you're kind of forced to watch the other competitors, which adds an element of tension to the event, which you did see in the dugout. Tia and those people sitting there with the clenched jaw of like, crap, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. And then that goes back to the buy situation. Would Tia and Jeff have improved had they had more runs at it?
Yeah, they brought that up on the alternate broadcast as well, with the women. So it was Josh, not that Josh is a woman, but it was Josh, Becca Voigt, and Annie Sakamoto. They all said, and I think they brought it up with Matt too. They said that they would rather have the bye because it guarantees you 5 spots. Regardless of the runs or not. So yeah. So let's look at the standings real quick on this one. Jason Hopper took the win for the men. Brent Fikowski was second, Vellner third, Travis Mayer fourth, and Yella Hosta 5. And Kenneth is making comments about the weird vest Yella Hosta was wearing in the dugout, which looked like an ice vest to keep him cool. This was the lone good workout for Dallin Pepper.
Yeah.
On this event, I had Ricky Garrard to win. And if he could have just got the bag in the box on the final one, I would have had a shot.
Yeah, he was doing well.
He was so fast on the first part, and that he had to get a lead for the sandbags because he couldn't grip and rip like others could.
Right. I had Travis, mainly because I felt like he could. He's one of the taller guys. Pick that sandbag up and get it right in there.
Yeah, and tall seemed to help. Hopper, Fikowski, Travis. And Hopper got better and better each round.
Yeah.
Way, way better.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be the trend on both sides of this.
Yep.
So, yeah, I do like the race. I thought the race was awesome. I love the closeness of it. It just, there's too much of a delay. So let's look at the women. Spiegel wins this one with Laura second, Paige Semenza third, Alex Kazan fourth, and Danielle Brandon fifth. I actually had Kazan in this one. So I didn't do terrible, but could have done a little bit better. But I got to tell you, like, I love Paige Semenza. She's one of my favorite people. Pennsylvania girl, played hockey here at Ohio State. The way she went over those logs, like, that's the difference between an athlete and a CrossFitter. Same way with Hopper.
Hopper did good. Danny looked really good, which is somewhat surprising. But yeah, the people who perfected that slide definitely gained some time ahead on that.
And watching both of them, well, especially Paige, like I had Carolyne in my head, so saying like that's why we're athletes. Like, right, like Carolyne looks at herself as an athlete, not a CrossFitter, because she's done so many sports in her life. And Hopper was such an athlete, he had to be coached to not jump as high over the log because he was exerting too much. So I just thought that athleticism to go over that final log with barely touching it was, especially for Paige, a woman, and that log being so tall to her.
Yeah.
Like, she barely touched it going over the top. Like, it makes sense for like Hopper and Fikowski, who are very tall, and it's not. But for Paige to do that, man, I could watch that all day. So I was really pleasantly surprised with Spiegel showing her athleticism over and under.
Yes.
And the sprint to the bag. And then when she got to the bag, that was just like child's play.
Yep.
But same for Laura. Those bags didn't slow her down at all. So yeah. So who'd you have in this one?
I had Travis and Laura.
Okay.
So not too bad.
Nope. Did better than me. So then let's go to the final workout of the night. We'll stay with the women. And it was the deadlift with Alex Kazan winning kind of in a dominating fashion. I think she had more in the tank. Spiegel second, Laura Horvath third, Tia Toomey fourth, Kyra Milligan fifth. Big move for Kyra.
Yeah. She looked strong. Yeah, I had Colin Brander on this one, and I was shocked where she stopped at. And it almost looked like she decided not to really try on that one. Like, I don't know if something happened in the previous lift, but I don't know. That one just seemed, she was just like, I'm good here. And I don't know. It was weird to me.
Yeah, I had her as well. Was really disappointed but in all honesty, and this is what I think we'll get to after we recap this, is I think these people are wrecked. This is more brutal than the games. And there were times where athletes, you could just tell, like even Garrett Clark, like he didn't look bad on the lift before, and then it's like, no moss, I'm done.
And and then Bethany with another no-go.
Yeah.
No minimum work requirement on this one?
Apparently not.
I find that strange.
You know, Colin Brander and Lauren Fisher are having, and even Mano Anganese, those ladies are having a heck of a weekend. And for Laura to do this after losing her mom less than a month ago, like, kudos to her.
It was
let-
so many lifts to get to that final bar.
yeah, they have to do better than that. My gosh. They need to know what the athletes are capable of.
Well, you had a couple out right away, so it's not like they were wrong. I mean, you had one person not even hit the opening bar, 2 out on the next bar. Like,
But at that point, like,
so they shouldn't lift?
18 bars.
I know, it's too many.
Like, make the jumps a little bit bigger at the beginning.
Yeah, I think you would have.
You have tiebreakers in place.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm never a fan of 1 reps ever, partially because of stuff like this. Like, it's just long. I don't know how you fix it. Like, changing weights, you're like picking your own weight isn't even necessarily a better way to do it.
So Lexa should be able to skip bars if you know you can hit it. And I know, like in strongmen, they do that.
Mm-hmm. But if they're going to do that, then we got to start cutting down the athletes need to be aware we're doing this so that we can start to shorten the rest breaks. Because like leaving Kyra's time in there before Spiegel goes up, we got to start condensing this.
Yeah. Right. But if you're
and start combining the platforms. Like I get it. Somebody might lose 30 seconds to a minute. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was long. I got back from the Halloween party. And it I didn't get finished watching it till almost midnight. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to watch it on my phone at the Halloween party. So I was like catching lifts here and there. And then I tried to watch it when I got home, but fell asleep. So I didn't even get through the men. So
Carolyne said
I saw the last lift.
Update their maxes. It would also make it easier on the programmers.
That's true. I do that kind of annoys me with some of people's profiles. And I don't know if, I mean, and so in that, it frustrates me with invite only over like qualifier. Cause not that you want the qualifier to predict like everything you're going to see, but if you test for the things you kind of want to test for, you have a much better idea. They've done that at like Legends. We did like cleans or something, and then they threw in snatches at a weight that I was like, or maybe it was we did snatches in the qualifier and then threw in cleans at a weight that I was like, half the people can't do this. Like, you probably should have tested this in the qualifier if you want to have a weight out there that you want everyone to be able to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So much of the profiles are not updated. I think that's a huge problem. But this is also a lift that we probably don't test a lot in CrossFit.
I don't know. I mean, they've done the total. Like, they have numbers. Yeah. Is it something CrossFit can someone on the back end? I mean, these people have done deadlifts, whether it's a 2 rep or 4 rep or whatever they've done. Like, there are people that have shown deadlifts in competition, and if they're not updating their profiles, I feel like somebody on the back end at CrossFit needs to go in and update with things that we've known. At this point, all of those numbers should go into those people's profile, regardless if they want to do it or not. It's like they don't want people to know their numbers.
Maybe that's a project we can give Holly. She can go back and watch every competition and jot down people's weights, and we'll make a database. And just kidding, Holly. So Alex wins. Very, very impressive. That girl is just flat out strong.
Her raw strength is insane to me.
Yeah. And she's so good at other things, like like to have Spiegel type strength and still be good at other stuff
Mhm.
is just freaking amazing. So Carolyne says the gap in a deadlift between people can be so large, so it makes it that the amount of reps are so high to get maxes. I think we just have to be reserved or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We have to be okay with, we have a tiebreaker in place and know that some people are going to be grouped together and the tiebreaker is going to be the answer until you get to those higher weights, like the top 10. Now, I think we could probably do a better tiebreaker, but I am not a programmer.
Yeah.
So, and
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think the starting weight is fine if you do bigger jumps.
I thought that too, 15 or 20 pounds for like at least 15 pounds. I thought if they did the 305 and then 320 and then 335, then some 10s, and then I don't know. Yeah. Maybe 3 rounds of 15 pounds, 3 rounds of 10 pounds.
Just to cut it down to 12 or.
Yeah. But yeah, it is quite a spread of weights. And that's something where like the very top are getting ridiculously strong, but that's only like 8 to 10 women that are like way up there. And then there's that, I don't know. The 1 reps just don't seem appropriate for me. Like,
so let's go to the men, which actually was a little bit faster. They went by 10s, by 20, and then by 10. It seemed to, like the knockout rounds seemed to get a bunch more people at a time than on the women's side. And it kind of it seemed to move a little bit faster. Maybe I was just delirious after watching so many deadlifts. I'm not sure. But Chandler didn't even set up, just went up, grabbed it, pulled it, ends up winning. He ended up hitting 610 just for show.
Jeez.
At the end. And you think about that, like Sam Dancer just a few years ago was looked at as like a different species doing 600 at the ranch and struggled to get that up. And Chandler did it like it was nothing.
How many bars did the men hit?
I don't know. I know they just kept saying 18 for the women. 18 bars on the broadcast. So it's just stuck in my head. I don't think they did that for the men.
Okay.
So, Tudor Magda second. He was my pick.
Okay.
On this one. Vellner third, Hopper fourth, Jay Crouch fifth. Jay Crouch, what a move. I know.
I didn't see any of his lifts. Holy cow.
575.
Holy cow. Good for him.
And there was a 3-way tie there with Travis Mayer, Jay Crouch, and Jason Hopper. Lex says 12-ish for the men. And it's an estimate, so we're not holding her to that.
Yeah.
And I would have guessed about that too. And I think that was a little more appropriate. Like 12 seems okay. 18 just seems way, way too much.
I'm curious if that is going to affect Alex or Danny or Tia or Laura today. Because those 5-pound jumps at the end and 4 or 5 more bars for those 4 or 5 ladies. Ooh, that's hand.
Well, where did Tia go out? I'm going to go back here. So Tia went out at 4 and Alex went to 425. So Alex had to lift 5 more times.
Yeah.
And so did, oh no, they went to 10. No? Oh, Spiegel. Yeah. So Laura lifted 3 more times. Alex lifted 5 more times than Tia. And what is that effect going to be tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Or today now? I'm all confused. I'm not usually up this early on a Sunday. So yeah. Back to the men. Any other surprises for you on the men's side with the deadlift?
No. What did Dalen hit?
He was there for a while. Maybe not. He hit 545.
Yeah, he's just having an underwhelming weekend for me.
Yeah. I wonder if he just isn't training.
So what? Yeah, I don't know. Why come to this just to earn a little cash? I don't know.
So right now, the overall standings: Pat Vellner at 490, Jeff Adler at 400, Roman Krenikoff 385, Brent Fikowski 385, and Jason freaking Hopper 375.
What? Crazy.
Yeah, Hopper's like 6th, 19th, 4th, 17th, 1st, 4th.
Yeah, but so is everyone other than Pat and maybe Adler. Everyone has.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the other guys touched on this. Like, the programming's kind of back and forth.
Yep. And today we've got another mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the women real quick for where they stand. Tia has a 5-point lead, 505 to 500. Emma Lawson 415. It's a runaway train race at the top. Gabby Magawa 395. Alex Kazan 375. And Christine Kohlenbrander 360. Like, that's what shocks me about that deadlift. She is in podium contention a couple more spots.
Mm-hmm.
And Mano Anganese at 7th at 350. Lauren Fisher 8th, Emma Carey 9th, Danny Spiegel jumped up to 10th. So today we have 3 workouts, 300 points. Let me get to Sunday. Here we go. First of individual event, Hulk hands, 30 cal echo bike, 20 double fat bell ground to overhead, 75 front lunge to Zeus, run, bag drag up the hill, run 75-foot front rack lunge, 20 double fat bell ground to overhead, and 30 echo cow bike.
Another big guy, power output athlete workout.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be strong enough to handle that bag up the hill.
Yeah, that bag up the hill is going to, after what they've been through, that's going to be rough. And as someone who has sat on that hill, it is so steep. So steep. Like, the TV does not do it justice.
Well, who you got for it?
On the men's side, I have Roman.
Okay.
Can't remember who I have on the women's side. Probably Tia.
I have Ricky and Tia. I think Laura will do really well.
I have Laura.
She'll-
I have Laura.
Do
I
you have Laura?
so she
Yeah.
needs it.
So yeah, I know I'm almost like, do I need to quick get over to my Heat One app and make some changes? That's who I have in my Heat One app right now. But yeah, Laura does need it, and she's gonna have to gun hard on that bike. And
So Lex is
you
telling you Laura will do better because of Echo Bike.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun one to watch. So if I'm picking the same as Lex, I feel confident. So this is my thing with the Heat One app. I'm gonna say right away, why I stink so bad is because I big game hunt. I try to find that diamond in the rough and be the one, like, I told you so. And I just need to I need to hit it down the fairway and pick who I think is actually going to win.
Right.
So yeah. So then event number 8 is Big Cat, 6 box jump, 2 pegboard climb, hill run. I know that's a rounds for time, right?
Like 4, 5 rounds, I thought.
5 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have that on the schedule. It's 5 rounds for time. So a basic pegboard, hill run. I think that's not a big guy workout.
No, but you need to either be really explosive for those box jumps. Well, did we get clarification if it's hands-free actual box jumps?
Actual box jumps.
It's an actual box jump?
Yeah, I got that from a judge.
Can you touch the box to get down?
I don't know.
I would personally would not like to jump down from that box, and it's too tall to step down. I would put my hands down and set myself down almost. I wonder if Carolyne knows if you can do that. Yeah, the last thing I don't know. I would not like that. So pegboard workout more than any touch on the way down is allowed. Okay, great. That's good. At least that's safer.
Yeah, Carolyne Prevost, for those of you listening, says touch on the way down is allowed.
Yeah, and the weather has thrown a wrench in almost every workout. So yeah, maybe for rain safety. Is it supposed to rain there again today? Or is it raining already? Do we have a delay already?
I don't know. But if you're doing a pegboard in the rain, oh my goodness. Carolyne says sky's looking dark right now. Yeah, that could turn into strict pegboard real quick.
Is it the plexiglass pegboards, just hanging from the rig?
I'm sure.
Nowhere for them to pinch their feet, huh?
They won't do a pegboard in the rain.
Oh man. Last thing we need is to remove another gymnastics skill. I think that already. Hell.
How do you really feel?
More gymnastics, less strength.
So who do you have for this one?
I have Patty V and Laura.
I have Patty V and Alex Gazan.
Okay. I think it'll be a good race in the ladies. I think there's 5, 6 ladies that are going to be all together pushing the pace on this one.
Yeah,
hopefully it happens as written.
Gazan is a monster at upper body pulling.
Yeah.
The pegboard will be nothing for her. So
yeah.
Yep, that was my reason. And then I don't think we know
Still don't
what the
know.
last one is yet. Still TBA on the website.
So that's going to be, I feel like, a tough one for the app to like open up and shut down in time. Because I mean, are we going to see the announcement and then they take the floor? I mean, everyone's going to have to be in their app, quick make their selection. And
My guess is the athletes have probably been briefed today or will be briefed at some point prior to. Hopefully, we get an indication what that is.
yeah,
So, Carolyne, you're saying if Ricky can be okay with the box jumps, he's a great runner. Do you consider this a running workout more than the upper body pulling? Or just in connection with?
it's just the hill run, right? So it's kind of like the ring muscle up workout from last year, where they would be at the rig up and back. And I still feel like the gymnastics component took the. Okay, she thinks that's a major factor.
Yeah, she says, I think the running is a major factor.
Because there's not enough reps of the other things that
That's
pace.
a pretty good run. Like you're running the entire outfield up that hill, back down. Like it's not a short run.
And then you blow up your legs for those box jumps.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Yeah.
She also says the jumps are a factor as well, if you can be efficient there.
I mean,
okay. So I
it's
went
going to be a fun one to watch.
I am not in the right place. Oh, cool. So she also said that that last year they announced the final workout an hour before.
Cool.
So watch closely and get your Heat One app ready. So that's about it. I wanted to do a quick show. We went 45 minutes. The initial schedule was for them to take off in about 15 minutes. Kenneth asks, who takes the weekend? I think Pat Milner would have to fall off a box to not take the weekend. And
do we think it's going to be Tia or Laura?
I think.
God, I wish I knew the last. I wish we knew the last workout to be able to, because I think they're both going to be very close on these next two workouts. Like I think we're going to be probably still within 5 points at the cleanup. So I wish we knew what the cleanup was to answer that. I'm gonna go with Tia.
I'll go with Laura.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's who I have winning it in the Heat One app anyway.
I think you do. I have Tia winning in the Heat app and Pat Milner. So let's hope.
So Carolyne said they're bringing off they're taking the equipment off the field right now.
Oh no. Oh yeah. So, well, I don't know. Do you want to get off or do you want to chat some more if they're not going to be going in 10, 15 minutes?
We can chat. What do you got?
This is this kind of thing, and I get it. Like athlete safety. I mean, weather is an issue. It may, like, I told you this, like, it makes me appreciate JR's event, Crash Crucible, so much more. And as like a spectator, I can only imagine. I mean, me trying to watch this when I have plans and thinking I have like this time set aside to watch this event, and then it's 2-3 hours later. If I had paid for the extra coverage and then couldn't actually get to watch the event that I had set aside time for, I would be really frustrated at this point.
Yeah, I will agree. Like, yeah, Carolyne makes a great point. Or flights. If you have a flight out today and you're a spectator or an athlete, like you're either missing the end as a spectator or as an athlete rebooking flights to try to get home. And I know Carolyne tries to get back to work like Monday morning. Like she is a savage. she'll like take an overnight flight and go right into school and teach.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, my body won't function like that anymore. There was a day where I could do that, but now not so much. But and I think that on a more global outlook of this, that's why yeah, I land at 7 a.m. and go into work tomorrow. That is
Savage.
dedication to your craft.
Yeah.
On a more global aspect, I think when we look at the professionalization of the sport, that's why we need a place like Fort Worth, a high-end inside arena where all of the events can take place. You won't have the alpaca thing. You won't have what's happening this weekend at Rogue. You can stay to a TV schedule, right? And be able to do things as a professional sport. And so I think this was a great way for us to see why the games had to make the move they had to make. Doesn't mean they can't go outside and run like a trail run or something like that. But to have the big gymnastic stuff outside and then have to remove it or cancel it is not good for the sport.
Right.
So I think this was a great window into why the games had to do what they did, especially when you partner with someone like ESPN, who's going to have you on a to the second schedule for the weekend. It has to be more predictable.
Yeah, I will sit around all day for these comps all weekend and watch, but like if you're trying to get me to sit from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. and just watch the screen and watch, it's getting a little bit much. I mean, nothing else in my life can get done, and it's a little frustrating. And then what? The strongmen got their stuff canceled. They didn't even get to finish.
I think they finished last night.
Did they? There was so much chatter in the live stream about strongman that I was
a lot of
to keep up.
in the concourse of the stadium.
Okay.
Unless it was the big apparatus, I think they had already put a contingency plan in for them to do their stuff inside ish, like just under the roof of the concourse. So I think they were fine. But I did not follow it to a T, like everybody did.
Yeah.
So just a couple things. Rogue is ahead of the curve. They'll regroup and adapt next year from this. Well, I think if you're Rogue, it's fine. You're doing your own broadcast, so you're not under the responsibility of meeting the timeline of somebody else. I think CBS is going to replay this. They're not playing it live.
Right.
So you can cut this up. And I love when they're outside. I think and I've been to Del Diamond. It is a sweet venue for this. I'm not telling Rogue that they should go away from it. It just gives us a peek into why the games have to be the way they are. Carolyne is reporting live from the venue. Those sandbags are staying out right now, so if those get wet, they will get heavier and drag up the hill. Changes things up big time. I added the big time. Strongman fans are brutal.
They really are.
Kenneth had to turn off the live chat yesterday. And if you know Kenneth, that's probably like cutting off an arm for him. These guys are getting paid regardless, so they should stop hating and realize weather happens. I have not been in a chat this weekend. I've been trying to focus on the event itself. So are there athletes hating on this? I haven't noticed anything like that.
I don't know. I'm guessing that comment is in regards to the strongmen still,
Okay.
but I don't know. Yeah, it's
Jody Lynn says there was so much CrossFit hate in Rogue live chat. I was truly shocked.
yeah.
And that's kind of like what Dave Castro has brought up on his week in review lately. Like, Dave has said publicly he doesn't like bodybuilding. But if you want to bodybuild, that's fine. Go do your bodybuilding thing. But a bodybuilder will come into his chat and tell him why he hates him or hates the hate of the bodybuilding. But Dave never went to his site to drop in
Right.
any, right? Like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us be in our cult and do our thing.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to bring us together with this event, and it is like mixing oil and water.
Carolyne said she'll let us know when they bring the barbells back out for the lunges and when athletes come down. They haven't officially announced a delay.
All right.
And Lex says it's the fans, not the athletes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why strongman and CrossFit can't coexist.
Yeah.
It makes for a great event where you bring in fans from two different realms, and ideally it would reduce the delays in between events because you're bouncing back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there was not the weather issue, you could bounce back and forth. The fans get something going on the field all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great strategic partnership for Rogue, and people should just stop the hate. But
And they have the Rogue record breakers today, again, in between events, which I always enjoy watching those.
yeah. I tell you, like, so when I was a kid, I watched Strongman on ESPN all the time. When
Mm-hmm.
Magnuson was dominating, and now he's like the judge and the commentator for this. I was a big fan back in the 80s. And so when I was there live, like, I was so into watching the cool stuff that they were doing with like the Wheel of Pain and the Tower of Power and all that. It was so much fun for me, and just enjoying it all. And I was in the third base dugout most of that year as a PA, and those men are just from another planet. They are so massive.
Yeah.
And the way they go about their business is so different than CrossFit. Like, it's fun watching like how different it is.
Yeah.
Like, they chug a Coke before they go out to get the caffeine rush, or, like something that a CrossFitter would never do. And it was just fun kind of seeing the behind the scenes of all that. And appreciate them for what they can do. Not hate on. But
Yep.
regretfully, it's the world we live in today.
I know.
So, so after this, and we're just vamping now. After this, we have nothing until Legends in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
When's
Dubai? When is Dubai?
It's always in December.
Is it before Legends or the weekend? Like, can't be that close to Christmas.
I don't think they celebrate Christmas in Dubai.
I know, but I feel like our Americans wouldn't necessarily go that weekend.
It's not a lot of an American field.
That's very true. It is not.
Let's
see if I can pull it up.
But it's usually like a. Oh, athletes are coming down.
It's coming down. We might have to go.
But it looks like they may have scrapped the lunges.
It is the same weekend as Legends.
Well, Okay.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer. Because we'll be covering Legends that weekend.
Yep.
So, all right, athletes are coming down. We're going to call this show. I'm going to go up and hook up all my screens.
All right.
And we
Catch
will
you back
see
here.
everyone next time. Yeah, tonight at 7.
Yep.
All right. See everyone then.
All right.
Bye, guys.
We about to change the game. We out here.